But I have a big problem with permaculture. I just got 3 more fruit trees from Stark Brothers to add to my orchard. Get this one planted. Buddy, getting behind on this one. Right here, we have a Stark Brothers Red Haven semi-dwarf peach. Hope I don't lose it. For the past 4 to 5 years, I've been working on this area. It was an unproductive, overcrowded, wooded area that I couldn't really do anything in, and we've transformed it into a productive orchard with fruit trees and a high tunnel and berries interplanted with the fruit trees. That way things can be planted closer together. There are a few open spaces in my orchard that need to have some fruit trees planted in them because I want this area to be maxed out and fruit just producing all over the place. And if you're looking to plant things densely, you want to go with dwarf or semi-dwarf trees. So I got these fruit trees from Stark Brothers. Stark Brothers is where I've gotten all my fruit trees and my berry bushes and plants. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. I just love berries. And when you look at the creation around us, it's not a monoculture system of just single plants just planted in one area and nothing else. It's a permaculture system. And I'm striving to mimic those patterns and permaculture principles throughout our farm here. And one of those principles is interplanting your plants, your trees, your bushes. So that way things work together. But I have a big problem with permaculture. Well, at least one part of it is, well, sometimes it can be messy. It can be chaotic with everything interplanted together and hard to maintain. And that's what I've been dealing with. And I'm like, this has got to change. But that doesn't mean that I'm not doing permaculture anymore. What it does mean is I need to change what plants are interplanted together. Starting with our raspberries here. Vision's changing from right in here slightly. Needs to move. Get down there. There's some plants like comfrey and lemon balm and mint that I love having interplanted in my orchard here. But I don't want the berries interplanted here anymore because it's just hard to get in there and tend to things and to harvest the fruit, especially with raspberries, so I'm getting them out of there. Come on, raspberries. One of the challenges that we deal with here in our area is heavy clay. It can be as hard as a rock sometimes. And I've even knocked a chunk out of the head of one of my shovels one time just trying to work and dig in this area. It can be really hard. This is what we're dealing with here. Heavy clay, heavy clay. And it looks like this is one of those areas here that the clay is pretty heavy. And it was so hard, I even switched up and started using the mattock to try to help dig this hole. And did you know that digging or shoveling, you can burn like 400 to 600 calories per hour with doing that? Well, I wonder if it's more with heavy clay, because it's definitely harder to do. So I think it took me maybe around 15-20 minutes to dig this hole with heavy clay. So I probably burned somewhere around 150 to, if you factor in the clay, maybe 300 calories during the time that I was digging this hole. Joys of clay. And finally, I got that last little bit of dirt out of there to get our hole ready for our new tree. Let's see what we got here. Alright, so we're building the surface to about there. But with the clay being so hard here, I got some compost and some organic matter to add to our hole for our fruit tree to be planted in. Since this clay is so compacted, this should help out loosening things up. So in here, the soil needs to be loose so the roots can branch out and grow and do the things that they do to help support the growth of this tree. Got something to go down with. Earlier I mentioned making changes in my orchard here. So in addition to adding some more fruit trees and taking out some plants like raspberries to make things tidier and easier to manage, well, recently I've also added a land guard raised bed to go around one side of a trellis that I have within our orchard. And I really like this addition because I can still plant within this raised bed, but also because it's heavy duty, I can weed around it easily to help keep things tidier in this area. And I've also been adding block around our fruit trees to help make managing around our fruit trees easier and more aesthetically pleasing as well. And within those blocks, I'm planting comfrey and lemon balm, so that way we still have the permaculture thing going on there, but with those barriers, I can keep things tidier. So that was just one side of my orchard. I still have the other side that we need to work on. So to get started on this area, I did some weeding, and then I planted the second fruit tree on this side. And one thing about this side that I really appreciated was the soil is a lot better, a lot looser. And I think the plants that were interplanted here, like the comfrey, really made a difference with improving this soil. But as I was working, it started raining. And I was so hoping to get all this done before the rain came, but I've been happy to see the rain because we haven't had rain in quite some time. We had a drought here. What about you guys? Have you been getting rain in your area? Have you suffered a drought this year? Because we have. But despite the rain, I kept working and recording. And let me tell you, there was this one time I had an accident with a camera. Actually, I've had two accidents with the camera. One, I had a spark shoot off and burn the lens of the camera, but that's a story for another day. But there was another time that I was recording outside and the camera got rained on and it messed up the camera. So I wasn't gonna let this happen and I wanted to keep recording. to vlog our work for today, so I placed the camera underneath my gorilla cart so I could continue to record me planting the third fruit tree. There he is. Heavy clay too. Oh man. On a majority of my projects, I try to include at least one member of the family to help out so that way we can work together as well as spend time together. So today, my oldest son, Josiah, is the one that helped me out the most. Good job there, man. See, you're starting to get wet. Your hair's coming down.
Yep. Whenever my hair gets wet, it goes right into my face.
Looks like it's about time for a haircut then. I'm getting kind of wet too. Shirt, pants. We gotta finish this up and get out of the rain. And it kept raining. But we weren't gonna let a little rain keep us from our work for today. Also found in here some raspberries. Man, got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I don't want them growing right here, so some of them gonna have to come out. We gotta clean this area up. Oh, another raspberry right here. A year or two ago, I got blackberries and raspberries from Stark Brothers, and we interplanted this section of the orchard with those. And the blackberries have done fantastic. They're thornless blackberries, and they're just huge and delicious. But the raspberries didn't really do well in here. So in addition to the raspberries on the other section of the orchard, the raspberries in this section too, I want to get out of here and give them their own area. They've multiplied, but I don't think they had enough room to really flourish. So we'll give them another area to grow in.
Come on, guys.
Don't poke me. Don't poke me. Come on. Get out. It wasn't smooth, but we got it. There you go. These have a reddish color stem and it's sticking. And with the rain continuing to come down on us, I was like, it's time to bust out our new canopy because we're not quite done working yet. Recently, we got a family tent from Core Equipment and we really like it. And I was like, let's also get a canopy because I can use it for multiple purposes here on the farm. And I recruited a few helping hands to make a cameo appearance in helping to set this up. Watch your hand on it. Watch your hand on it. You're not even holding it. Grab it. You gonna do the honors here?
Yep.
All right. Push it up. That's cool.
That's the side.
Here, let's raise it up together. Actually, go to your corner.
I don't know how to raise it
Pick
up.
a corner. You push the button.
You push the top of it.
Push the button in.
The green thing.
Top right here. When you put your foot on the thing, raise it up. Yep. Raise. Yep.
How are we going?
Go up a little bit more now that you're here. Push. Up. And thankfully we got it up because it just continued to rain harder and harder. But another blessing of the rain for today is, well, it watered the fruit trees that I just planted. And with things so wet and us being limited on what we could do under the canopy here, I was like, let's go ahead and put together our other land guard raised bed that we're going to put on the other side of our trellis. These raised beds are built really well, but they do come with a lot of nuts and bolts. So as I would put the panels together, Josiah would lay out the nuts and bolts for me to easily grab and connect the pieces together.
So many years has gone by, but I think about you all the time. Looks like you're changing and all, but why didn't you call?
And we only put it together halfway, because we had to put it around our trellis first before we fully assembled it.
A little bit more? Yep. A little bit more. Right there.
One in. Get it in, getting wet at the same time.
Keep tapping it.
Right down here. But at this point, it was time to call it a day. But the next day, we finished our final touches on our raised bed. And stay tuned, because I plan to do something special with this bed later on. But what we needed to tend to right away was the raspberries that I dug up. We actually had a lot more plants than I thought we had. And I even forgot about some that we dug up on the other side of the orchard.
That's mostly it.
Alrighty. Yeah. So I carted them down to another portion of the property. And here is where we're going to do a raspberry patch. I first weeded this area. And then raked down what I had weeded. Then it was time to plant our raspberries. I measured out from my fence. Then I marked the spot for our row with a post and line, but my line did get a little tangled. That tends to happen a lot here. Does it happen to you? Let me know. But after getting it untangled, I finally was able to pull my line, and then we could start digging and planting our raspberries here. I want you to measure. We're going to do distance, 3 feet in between each one.
We planted them today too.
And even though this is going to be a raspberry patch here, I still plan to implement permaculture principles. And one of the plants that I want to interplant with our raspberries here is mint. The raspberries should grow up tall, and then the mint should stay low, spreading out around our raspberries. But when we had so many raspberries, I was like, we even have enough to do a second row. So Josiah and I did a second row of raspberries. Good stuff right here. Man, this is actually where I used to have some ducks and chickens. So that's some good fertilizer right there. Help these raspberries grow. It's a big one right here. Ouch. Oh, it poked me. Alright. Here we go. Time to get poked again. It's time to get in your new home. Alright, there we go. Just like that. Find your little happy place. Bob Ross. We're not paying for planting. Put your little roots in there, just like that. Find your little happy place. This is your little happy place. Let's make it your happy place. Alrighty. Just don't poke me. Even when you're in your happy place, you can still be a little pokey. There we go. Just like that.
Who are you, the brown Bob Ross?
I don't have the fro for it, but what if I want to be the brown or burnt orange Bob Ross? We can be Bob Ross twinsies. Just get me a nice fro. Thanks for your help, man. Little happy plant here, little happy plant there. Make hopefully little raspberries here, little raspberries there. Or hopefully a lot of raspberries here and a lot of raspberries there. Come on, get your water. Get the water.
That's a lot of water, don't drown it.
Just baptize it. We got not one, but 2 rows in our raspberry patch here. Alright, so out of all the fruit that we're growing here in our orchard up there and now in our new raspberry patch, which one do you say is your favorite out of everything we're growing? Do you like the raspberries, the blackberries, the... What do you like?
Raspberries are my favorite.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the raspberries?
Right off the plant.
You like eating them fresh, raw? Fair enough. Hopefully we'll have some more for you and maybe we could have some raspberry pie or something like that too. That'd be good. Alright, let's get out of here. What's your favorite? Let me know in the comments section below. Well, there's still a number of things that we need to do in my orchard before the year's over with. Oh, and besides, we have apples that need to be harvested. And hopefully my wife Lacie has something yummy planned for those apples. But stay tuned for that. Oh, and always, any of the items or things that I featured in my videos, well, you can check out the links for those resources in the show notes below. Links for things like Stark Brothers, the raised bed, as well as the canopy. Check it out below. See you next time.